リアル ODA の空の兄弟。
Venom. Venom. My, if you ever heard what I heard in the night, what fright, must have been a parasite in my past life. I don't wanna ever come down from a high. My soul was sending to the sky, guess it's you and I. Gone, but I'm feeling too alive, trying to get me out of spite. Someone's gotta pay, I ain't talking big amount. Some kind of physical pain, some kind of traumatic shit. Niggas wanna see dead bodies, probably not there, running with no automatic clips. Moving scatty, all erratic and shit. Niggas pussy licking batty and shit. Oh, you mad? Then come at me, you prick. Make a move, better pattern it quick. I assume you'll be coming for blood. That makes two of us, that makes two of us. Venom. 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 True is to stick up, hands in the air, put the money in the bag, all cash, all cash. Venom. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh man, woo! Not really. All right, let's get this over with. This is just business. I'm not really that happy or anything. I just want to talk about a few things. God, do I hate stupid people. I really fucking do. It's been a minute, man, since we done any content. I think I took like a week or two off, and well, we got some things to talk about right now. I gotta be real. There's a few things I don't understand about the internet, bro. Like, I don't get how people still watch this shit and not laugh at some of it, right? Like, take it seriously. Oh, dear fucking God, I do not fucking care about Valkyrie. God, that's the one thing I want to talk about. God, I fucking hate. And I mean this. I want to really, and then really just get the I fucking hate big streamer drama. It's just fucking trash, dude. I can care less about the Pogger community. I could care less about this. I could care less about that. I could care less about all of it, right? But one thing I really could care less about, a bunch of rich douchebags talking about codes and ethics amongst being a bunch of rich douchebags. I could care less. I don't care about the feuds going on between all these big streamers because they all fucking suck. Whether you're Tectone, Osmongold, I've grown to respect more because I do respect the idea of not giving a fuck and just being basically the same fucking guy you've always been. And you know what? Unfortunately, he's the only one that's genuine or fucking not. I gotta give it to him. He's the only one that's genuine. All you fucking losers out there make up all this shit about the dude, but I've watched him and he's just a boring, genuine white guy. Congratulations. Now, whether you think he's a disgusting slob or not, that's up to your prerogative. I don't give a shit. Granted, that does not mean I like the fucking dude. I'm just telling you don't want to fucking stomach. I hate Tectone. He's an audience captured retard. He's just become that. He's become so audience captured and so gay with gay ops. It's to the point where I can't watch any of it. His content's fucking gay. I can't fucking watch. Who else can I not watch? Well, I never liked Ludwig. He was a douche. So that's not a loss to me. I can't fucking watch any of these other fucking streamers, man. I cannot. Ugh. God help you if you fucking try and show me Hassan. I'd rather fucking drink bleach. I can't watch any of these people, bruh. They're not entertaining to even A-Log. Oh my God. Look what fucking iDubbbz is doing. Who fucking cares? No one even cares. You know, I talked to Kate about this like 2 weeks ago. No one cares. Even they're over it. No one even cares. You want to know why? Because they're boring. They're fucking boring. I'm actually surprised Kino's even trying. What's the point? Oh, he poops himself. Oh, it's a humiliation ritual. Oh my God. Who gives a fuck? It's the same fucking drama with him because it's just like, who cares? I mean, come on, dude. He's fucking drugged out of his mind. He's fucking dying with his stupid. He's dying up in Canada. He's not a permanent resident in Canada. Who wants to actually be Canadian? You are living in America and you went to Canada. That's an L. You got driven out to Canada. That's on you, brother. Because you were dumb enough to fuck over your people. You were dumb enough to fuck over people that were there for you. You were dumb enough to fuck over people that helped you along the way. And then you ran out of fear, you ran like a little bitch. That's whatever. It's your problem. Beyond that, right? Who cares? I can't. Then this thing with Hassan. Oh my God, Hassan was accused by someone from college, and I don't care. Nothing will happen to Hassan. Nothing. Who cares? Are there lawsuits? No. Is there a criminal accusation? No. So who cares? He was a douchebag in college. Okay. We all know that, though. You didn't need to have someone come out and leak a bunch of shit to tell me that Hassan Piker is a frat boy douchebag. I've said that for 5 years, that he's a frat boy douchebag trying to play politics. Everyone knows this. Telling me that this guy was a part of the most hated, rich nepo baby cuck fucking what the fuck? I was gonna say sorority, but I don't even care at this point. Fucking, frat. I just called him a frat boy, and I'm not getting it. Fraternity. Dumbass me. You telling me this is like telling me water's wet? No shit. We all know he's a frat boy. It's the way he acts. He can fucking lie and put on all the Gucci bullshit all he wants. He can sit there and try and mask his nonsense behind word salad all he wants. I know a fucking frat boy, white boy, when I see one, and that is Hassan Piker. Hassan Piker is a fucking white boy. He's always been a white boy. He'll always be a frat boy, white boy stereotype from American Pie. That is all he is. He is a wannabe Stifler. He's always been that way. So I don't understand why this is news. And then I guess it evolved into other shit. We're involving shit that honestly I can't really blame him for. But it's like, wow, he's a douchebag. We know. Every one of us knows this. Every female that's not a fucking stupid 20-year-old loser who's just fucking hopped up on any fucking dude that will give them any bit of attention knows this. Any grown woman can see Hassan coming from a mile away and go, yeah, that's a frat boy douchebag. Stay away from him. It's the same shit. Different day. All this drama sucks. And the worst part about all this drama that just sucks is, for me, I'd rather talk about the Ethan Ralph shit. I'd rather talk about all this. And even that is kind of gay. Not gonna lie. It just sucks. Like, you really think about it for a minute. Think about this for a minute. I can't even take any joy in the solace of making fun of Ethan Ralph until he really fucks himself. Like, it's building and it's giving a bunch of avenues for the arc, and there's nothing there. He just keeps going out like a punk ass at every turn. Like, I would love if him and Raquel have literal death by mutual destruction. They both deserve to fucking all know that they're both scumbags. But it's like the building blocks to a great movie, and no one's writing the script. No one's writing the script to Sonic 4 up in this bitch. By the way, I need to show y'all some things. Hold up. So, I hate using AI, but I had to do some tests because StreamYard now has a stupid AI feature, and I'm never using it again, obviously. But hold on. Give me a minute. Hey, yo, Val. I need y'all to just check it. Look at this shit. First of all, the problem with the AI thing is, and I'll tell you the problem, any fan can notice the fucking key issues with all of this. Look at Knuckles' fists. They look terrible. His head doesn't even look right, to be honest with you. That's one of the things. But let me look at this one for you. Now, check this out. Now, if you're a fan, this is phenomenal looking. It's just that it's not accurate. Knuckles' fists. Knuckles doesn't have fingers. Knuckles does not have fingers. But I'll be damned if I gotta be real. The aesthetic here, it's a nice actual change. I would actually consider putting spikes on the collar, on the sleeve, on the wrist collar. I can't wrist collar. Wow. On the wrists, I put that, and then you put like the spikes on the bottom. I do it. But yeah, this isn't totally accurate. But yeah, that's what I typed in. Knuckles versus Shadow. Chaos Spear. The shoes are right. Pretty good, right? And then you have the gauntlet on the side. The ring gauntlets. It's pretty good. I was actually kind of impressed by that. This one is phenomenal. The problem is it's not accurate. Look at Shadow's shoes. Not accurate. They look like Sonic shoes. He has Sonic's gloves. Where's the gauntlets? Exactly. Not bad, though. Not bad, though. Not for AI. That's actually pretty fucking good. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. It's pretty fire. You know what? That's why if you change up the shoe, if you got this accurate, I think it's probably one of the best looks in the fucking series. Straight up, in my opinion. One of the best, like, wallpapers. I got silver and where to unpack this? The shoes aren't right. There's no glowing gauntlets. The arms look creepy. Oh, that looks pretty good though. All right, I'm done showing off the brain rot of society. Sorry, I'm showing the future damnation of this world. My bad. Let's go back to my edited stuff. Thank you. That's actually done properly. Jesus. But alas, there's nothing I can really do about that. So what we're going to do right here is we're going to do something that I think we should do. And that's looking at documentaries. Because I feel as though I'm bored as fuck and drama sucks so hard. So what we're going to do is we're going to make fun of an idiot. I just don't know which idiot I'm going to make fun of. There's Dr. Umar. Ooh, Dr. Umar's going to be on my list. Now, if you don't know who Mikey No More is, Mikey No More is probably the best, like, sector slop fucking what the fuck would you call it? Why can I not say this fucking word? It's pissing me off. Documentarian, my bad. He's probably one of the best ones out there. He's legit good. Okay, he's legit. So let me just pick one. You want Nick Fuentes? There's Laura Loomer. Fishes Vickers. Fuck that. We're doing Comicsgate, bitch. We're doing motherfucking Comicsgate. Da loca también vato. Let's go to the beginning. Let's go to the fucking beginning of this shit. Oh, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, up. Oh, I fucking hate ads. I apologize. I hate ads. All right. So let me make this very clear. Comicsgate is something that I have never really cared for. We have been around Comicsgate. We have been a part of some issues in the background. And a lot of this stuff's a little bit of a blast from the past for me. But I will say this. I am not a Comicsgate fan. And honestly, I'm not even Ethan Van Sciver fan. Not anymore. After some of this shit. But realistically, I love to laugh. And I love to make fun of Comicsgate. And I think the whole Comicsgate movement's a dead movement that needed to die probably 2-3 years ago. And I'm genuinely kind of just laughing my ass off at all of it anyways. So without further ado, let's watch this complete stupid shit.
You ever thought about what would be the most...
Oh, let me, my apologies. I put on my headphones. Ugh, very rude of me. I apologize. So I have to mute my mic, and I just don't feel like tapping it every 5 seconds. So excuse me. Let us begin.
effective way to kill a movement, to kill a coordinated effort for change. The first go-to strat would probably be to just murk the dudes at the top, but that doesn't always work out. The movements of Gandhi and MLK kept chugging along just fine after they both left the server, with new martyrs to boot. No, the most effective way to actually kill a movement is to introduce individuals with tons of charisma and ambition, but who don't actually give a shit about the movement, who are just really there for themselves. A perfect example.
I wonder who that would be. Listen, man, I'm a Ethan Van Sciver shit for a minute. He's been chill to me and some of my guys, but I'm also objective as fuck. So I'm just gonna say the buck and buck. I'm gonna say the real shit right here. Nah, he's totally in this movement for his own game, and that's fine. I kind of knew that. I kind of thought that, and I kind of expected it. I think it's kind of funny when you think all the players in this, like Anna, like fucking Preston Poulter, like there's so much shit around Comicsgate that I was a part of, that I had to witness and be adjacent to. I just never had any word on it because I was picking on the Fandom Menace side of things, and by God, I regret that because this shit is a lot more hilarious than I think. This shit's way more entertaining. Like the Fandom Menace shit was just fucking gay. Like, to be completely honest, in terms of drama, it was basically low reward, low return. It was bullshit. There's a bunch of nerdy dorks fucking crying about shit. As where this is a bunch of nerdy dorks doing horribly hilarious shit for entertainment purposes that I fucking love. See, I love stupid people to make fun of. I hate boring stupid people. Like, I hate Hassan. I hate all these fucking Hollywood fucking streamer bullshit dramas. They're all fucking boring. They're all lame. I don't care about Ethan Klein or iDubbbz or fucking Anissa. Like, I can make fun of them from time to time. Haha, here's a funny picture, blah, blah, blah. But to be completely honest with you, I can't watch that shit. I'd rather drink bleach. I can't do it no more. It's fucking lame. This shit is what I want to do. It's fucking hilarious because it's just like the most low down, dirty, depraved garbage that has quite literally zero fucking depravity. This is what this should be. I'm so sick of this boring, holier than thou drama. Who cares? Give me the good shit, bro. I want the good cocaine. I don't want that cheap white boy college cocaine. I want that cocaine that makes you go, oh, my throat getting numb already. That's what you want. You want that shit. You don't want this shit, dog. You don't want this shit. right?
of this was Gamergate, a movement that a decade ago was ignited over gamer
That basically started the fucking damnation and fucking gay opification of the fucking internet as we know it. Gamergate really destroyed the internet for me. I'm sorry, but it did. Not because the movement was anything or whatever, because it was entertaining as hell, but it began like the start of all these trash ass YouTubers that just suck now, like the quartering. Thanks to Gamergate, we have the quartering. Thanks for that. But if I didn't have the quartering, I wouldn't be able to laugh at the quartering getting bent over and basically put into beatdown submission by Sydney Watson like a little bitch, and then robbed by Sydney Watson for $200,000. I'm sorry, $250,000. $250,000. You fucking simp. Oh, and he's still doing the same thing with Melanie Mac and Hannah St. Clair. One of which is married and has a child. Oh, Jeremy. Oh, Jeremy. And the other, a woman that would never touch you with a 10-foot pole. All right? Doesn't. Melanie Mac's a frail thing for me. Not my type. Also has batshit crazy eyes. Back then, yeah. Now, no. Fuck no. That's batshit crazy eyes right there. But, homie, brother, it's a no for me, man. I don't know what you're trying to do. They don't want you. It's all vanity project just to talk to chicks. He's so full of shit. He thinks that we're all stupid. We can't like see through the fact that Jeremy is basically a horn dog who just has these women on just so he can try and fucking like perv out on them. Like if I had a nickel for every fucking time this dipshit would talk about Melanie Mac's feet, motherfucker, I'd have way more money than he supposedly has. Wink, wink. But anyways, we're not here to talk about the court. We're here to talk about other locales.
Indignation at corruption and lack of ethics in games journalism. It was quickly, and when I say quickly, I mean almost immediately, hijacked by culture war grifters on all sides of the political spectrum who just use it as a vehicle for lining their pockets.
Well, that's actually not even true. It quite literally, it was the creation of culture war grifters. To me, it started the culture war grift. Gamergate was the prelude and the godfather to culture war bullshit. And unfortunately, that's why I hate it. You can say, oh, it was hijacked, but what was there to hijack? It was just meant for that, for a culture war. And thus was used as a vehicle to create the bullshit we know now. That's why it's Gamergate. Otherwise, without it, it really wouldn't be anything. It would just be some scandals, if you think about it. Ah, shit.
It's in gaining clout. While GG accomplished little in the end, its legacy persists in various forms, including one of the most cartoonish, supervillain-ass Wikipedia pages I've
have got to read that Wikipedia page.
Ever seen. ISIS doesn't have terrorist organization in its title. Jeffrey Epstein and P. Diddy don't have sexual deviant in theirs. The Gamergate? Oh, they had to let you know it was a harassment campaign. Also, they had to lock it down so only the select elite of Wikipedia can edit it.
Man, what did he do to make them niggas that mad?
But there's also a less famous movement that's also been gutted by charismatic grifters. Comicsgate. As you can guess by the name, it was obviously aping the style.
I fucking love that Comicsgate basically made the same mistake that Gamergate did, but in a different, smaller subsect. And it's just fucking hilarious because it's still trying to act like it's a thing, and it's not. It's dead. It's just a bunch of fucking comics artists trying to just make some money, and they put a little label there. We're Comicsgate. There is no Comicsgate, sweetheart. It's dead. It died, and honestly, it should have been dead the minute that those fucking idiots decided to make an entire fucking photo of Ethan Van Sciver and Anna, that Star Wars girl, snorting a fucking dead woman's ashes that happened to be Anna's dead sister. Not gonna lie, that day was probably one of the single craziest days that I have ever been on the internet, and it was fucking wild. Listen, I'm all for shitting on Anna, and I've made it, and I've had fun doing that for years. I ain't doing that. What the fuck is wrong with you? Are you out of your fucking crack smoking mind? Why would you do that? The worst part is Ethan Van Sciver's fault because you made promises to these people, and then what do you think was gonna happen? That's like making promises to fucking terrorists and then being surprised they bomb your ass because you didn't fucking supply the goddamn Stark missiles. What you think was going to happen? They were going to just, forget. what you think was gonna happen? You fucking had a group of people tasked with fucking doing crazy shit at your bidding, and then you're shocked at the fact that they made a goddamn photo of you and your and the woman that you used, that you gave that opportunity to, that you promised other people. Well, brother, they're gonna fucking cook you. Do I condone it? Hell no, it's disgusting, evil, immoral. I never like those fucking those assholes, but when you have war campaign, war is war, Caesar. You don't get shit like this no more. I told you, drama just sucks. Like, I feel like Kino, you're just sitting there, you're waiting for something to just pop off, and there's just nothing. All you can do is try and sell the crap that you have, and it's just not there. Like, even Darkside Phil, as much as I get it, I also have to understand that it's quite honestly just a boring, nerdy dweeb trying to duck in a clout chase, and it's just not that interesting. As where back in those times with the rise of Nick Fuentes and his gay ops experience and him being a Fed, he's a Fed. He's such a fucking Fed. It's not even funny. That fucking douchebag. That can't remember. Right. The Ethan Ralph saga. I guess I could put that too. The Ethan Ralph saga. Dick Masterson. By the way, is Dick Masterson even a thing anymore? Is Dax Herrera even a thing? Even that was kind of funny. Those dweebs. Now they're all gone. All he has is fucking Vito, who's just lame and gay. He's not even worth you making fun of. Vito's so lame. What's the point of making fun of him? He sucks. His comic sucks. His art sucks. He sucks. He's just fucking lame and gay. I mean, you thought you would have got some value out of Riley and Mint, but I think we're just more uncomfortable by that whole situation than anything.
And probably the notoriety of Gamergate, which was around 3 years old in 2017 when hashtag Comicsgate first began to circulate. While the drama of GG was still fresh in everyone's mind, CG was just getting off the ground, ruthlessly trashing the trash comics that had flooded shelves and long boxes throughout comic shops all across America, as well as trashing the malicious behavior of the people making them against fans all across social media. You probably didn't know any of this nerd shit was going on. And I don't blame you. Even most geek communities till this day still don't know exactly what Comicsgate is all about outside of it involving comics. Contrast that with Gamergate, which, while still a niche and nerdy subject, has had major publications putting out stories about it, activists who spoke about it in front of the UN, and even had a notoriously cringe Law and Order episode dedicated to it.
What happened?
These guys, they just can't stand women in gaming.
Oh my god, it's so cringe. It's so cringe. This can't handle women in gaming. What? That doesn't happen. Oh my god. You know, speaking of that, I guess I'll segue for a second to talk about how much I fucking hate, and I mean hate. God, do I hate Instagram feminism. Feminists on Instagram are legitimate cancer. I think that they cause cancer. I really do. You know, you can convince me that they cause tumors, that they are radioactive, and that they cause legitimate tumors. That's how bad they are. Because I feel myself dying every time I have to fucking scroll through Instagram and I have to keep blocking all these miserable, fucking boring white women. And it's always the same archetype of boring white woman. It's always the same look. And I know it sounds racist, but unfortunately, it's not racist. It's just called pattern recognition. If you don't like pattern recognition, get the fuck out. It's always the same white woman. It's always the same blonde white woman. It's not blonde, but seriously, you know, sometimes it's blonde, but it's always the same it's always the way they fucking posture themselves. It's the same way of speaking, and it's arrogant, lame, and fucking rage baity. And it's all lame. I hate you feminists. I tuned these bitches out 3 years ago, and I've never looked back since. Want to call me a fucking goddamn misogynist? Great. Send me the shirt, motherfucker. All right. All right. We'll fucking do it the Bears style. We'll go better misogyny, better, best, better, best, better. You damn fucking right. So your better gets best every day. Best misogynist you can be. Because I am at that point of hating you. I hate you. It's a disgust. It's not even like a hatred of like pure. No, it's just a disgust. Like I look down upon these bitches on ways that you can't understand. They disgust me. They're legitimately disgusting as fuck. They're insects to me. Because at the end of the fucking day, it's the same message, the same bullshit, and the same bait used to basically get validation from men. And it's just like, I can't take you seriously. Get off my fucking page. Also, you're not even funny. Also, you're all cringe. And also, you're all the same type of goddamn female architect that no one wanted to talk to anyways. That's the problem with them. Most of the women that are on there are women that no one wants to talk to anyways. Don't worry about men. I mean, you'll find, there's always men that are pathetic and desperate, I'm sure. But for me, you ain't got to worry about men like me because I don't want to talk to you. I put my dick in a blender and have to fucking be next to you. Jesus Lord. Ugh, sorry. You have no idea how annoying Instagram is when it comes to this fucking shit. It's really annoying, and I feel bad that I have to fucking be subjected to it. But anyways, let's keep watching this.
What did they do to you?
For the record, this doesn't happen in Gamergate. Dude, the worst thing that ever happened to a female gamer was having to hear the fucking goddamn chat, and it happened to everyone. Welcome to Modern Warfare 2 chat to be out. Who gives a fuck?
They leveled up.
The only people whose feathers were
They leveled up. Oh god, the cringe.
ruffled by Comicsgate were the people within the American comics industry. In the American comics industry,
I'll be right back. I'm gonna get me something to drink, guys. Hold tight. Okay. Sorry. Let's get into this.
is very, very small. Just to quickly convey how small the American comics industry actually is, there's a manga called Kimetsu no Yaiba, better known as Demon Slayer if you aren't a complete fucking weeb. It's pretty popular. I'm sure a lot of you watching this have at least heard about it. At the peak of its popularity, Demon Slayer was not only the most popular manga in Japan, it was the most popular comic on the planet. Demon Slayer was so popular that in 2020, it outsold the entire American comic industry by itself. This is the dwarf-sized state of the modern American comics industry. And this
Yeah, because we go watch movies. We go watch the movies and the shows. That's why. Unfortunately, with the American comics industry, it's kind of spilled out into the point where we make it adaptations count now. It's happened with a lot of things now. I mean, we're living in an era where adaptations seem to be becoming more and more faithful. As you see DC, they're starting to become a little bit more into comic accuracy. Of course, some nerds will disagree with me, but it's the type of nerds that are so insufferable that I'm pretty sure that I kind of agreed with you being stuffed into a locker at a certain point in your life. So, go exit that way and go into your fucking designated locker where you belong. God, it needs to happen to some of you again. But for the most part, you can tell just that, or like the video game movies, like Sonic and Mario. If you would have told me like 10 years ago that they would do that, I'd look at you like, oh God, are they going to really just piss off like two massive fandoms and get shit on. No, we're in an era now where I feel like we're not afraid to do the things that that were once thought of as impossible, where you're not afraid to actually lean into what made these franchises special, where you didn't think you could make a design like Sonic work in live action. Well, you can. That's what people want. It's insane. Back in the day when you used to adapt something like this, you're having to change things to fit a modern ideal perspective, which is fucking stupid when you think about it, because okay, but you're taking away what made the fucking thing popular in the first place. So if it got popular on its own merit, why the fuck can't it be put on the big screen? If people liked it, why wouldn't more people like it? And that's the problem. Now that we are in the modern era, Mario is not changing things to not be Mario. First of all, it's animated now, which is fucking sick. But two, they're not afraid to lean in and be what it is. They leaned in and they gave everyone, like every Mario fan, a reason to fucking feel validated as a fan. The story was simple. It was fun. It had its moments. I mean, they even played fucking AC/DC in that bitch, and it fucking worked. Yes, AC/DC in Mario worked. Because they didn't sit there and they didn't and they weren't ashamed to be what it was. They basically they took themselves seriously in the movie. They took it seriously. They took the IP seriously. And they weren't afraid to let it stand on itself. And I think Sonic deserves a lot of credit for that, because I don't know if Mario could attempt something like that if they didn't see the success of the Sonic movies. And they're like, oh, we can do this. Oh, we can actually write these movies and make them fun again. You all remember that Mario movie with John Leguizamo or Leguizamo? I don't give a fuck, man. It was ass. It was AIDS. But this, I mean, this is perfect. It's fucking awesome. I love every second of it. Even Peach being kind of being more as a combatant type character, I fucking love it. Most people be like, oh, girl power. I fucking love it. It was great. Every part of that movie was great. And there are some really heartwarming parts. And even Sonic, like I said, they leaned into it. They didn't care. Every design is perfect and impeccable. So I think we're in an era now where I think you're starting to feel more comfortable with adaptations not being afraid to be less adapted and more true to faithful character designs, true to. And I get why comic fans get mad about that, because you see stuff like that and you're like, well, just do that. Granted, it's different with certain movies that people don't understand. But when it comes to a video game movie, you have a lot more freedom. So, whatever.
Was the catalyst for #ComicsGate. CG started as a movement of fans of comics who hated what their hobby had become and wanted the industry to change. It definitely had elements of a culture war, but it was ultimately a consumer revolt. The OGs of Comicsgate, some of the most prominent including Captain Cummings, Ingleteen, Unranked Chevron, Douglas Ernst, and Richard Meyer, aka your boy Zach, had YouTube channels that predated the Comicsgate hashtag. A lot of them followed a format of taking a modern comic and tearing it apart figuratively, and in Meyer's case, literally. They would also critique the pros themselves, which was the easiest thing to do because the American comic industry has some of the most brain-rotted, terminally online professionals of any industry I've ever seen. The way these...
It's fucking true. Comic artists are fucking all eccentric douchebags. They're fucking horrible. I really enjoy laughing at all this, by the way. Isn't it fun? See, I told y'all, man. Once you let these fuckers get loose, bro, when you start doing this anti-bullying shit, I'm telling you, man, that you let loose a demon. Because bullies don't go away. They just evolve. And this is a lot worse. We need to go back to the hierarchy.
Niggas were straight up disrespecting the shit out of their own customers. You would think they were rock stars and rappers who were balling out of control. Most of them were not. We're not talking regular broke. We're talking begging strangers on the internet for rent money broke. Still, CG struggled for a sense of legitimacy. It was a grassroots movement of aggrieved comic fans, but that's all they were. Comic book fans. They were consumers who had lots of critiques of the industry, but they were still just a bunch of non-comic book making nerds on the outside of the industry looking in. And the industry could dismiss their critiques as such. At least that's what they could do until a very talented
But that's the thing, though. This was the double-edged sword. Because yes, having a legitimate professional within the movement would add legitimacy to your criticisms, you'd think. But what you're doing is letting a wolf into the henhouse. Because once someone that's trying to sell is coming into the movement, well, then it becomes rotted from the inside due to deals and corporatism and motherfuckers wanting to make that money. That's what killed it. Yeah, you think you want a legitimate voice because he's a comic artist, but dude, they want to sell their books. So it becomes a bias. And once you have a bias, that is the rot that is from the inside. That's the cancer. That is the rot from the inside that destroys the movement, that destroys the whole point, that destroys everything you've been trying to say. Because now Comicsgate is just about basically a wannabe indie company. And if it was done correctly, it probably would have become an indie company. It just wasn't done correctly because everyone in that group's an egotistical fucking retard. And I really enjoy laughing at that.
Charismatic and ambitious comic book artist, freshly exiled from the industry, found his new home in Comicsgate. Ethan Van Sciver.
The end. That was it. And it could have been any comics artist, by the way. I'm not trying to put this all on Ethan because I know that's very easy to do because Ethan is, yeah. And by the way, his shit with Ethan Ralph is hilarious. I love how he acts like he didn't know what he was doing. Motherfucker, we could tell what you were doing. It's really funny, but okay. Granted, it's Ethan Ralph, so I don't blame you. Fuck that motherfucker. I don't care. Fuck that motherfucker. Ethan Ralph deserves nothing but pathetic pain and misery in this world, and I will never, ever get off of that page. Ethan Ralph is a disgusting subhuman sack of goat shit, and he is just here to be laughed at, mocked, and ridiculed. That fucking gunted, no-chin fuck. It will always be like that. That dude is a fucking piece of shit. And the only fucking way that dude ever can get laid is by fucking picking on the most fucking mentally damaged females in the world. And even then, he got dumped by a fucking mid-looking, fucking social handicap fucking chick that had STDs, which he happily took because he's Ethan Ralph. God, dude, what an ignorant fucking moron. Anyways.
Ethan Van Sciver, also known as EVS, Uncle Ethan, the Human Sunbeam, Caesar, and the King of Comicsgate, is a distinguished veteran of the comics industry, making his debut in comics with Cyberfrog in 1994.
So, what was your first published work? Cyberfrog #1 by Hall of Heroes, the most
God, dude, look how young he looked. What happened, bro?
reputable independent comic book publisher in Elkhart, Indiana.
Despite all his time in the industry and the credentials he amassed within, he still ended up parting ways with DC over what he claimed were political differences. He was a little too right-wing to hang in the now super leftist comic industry. Allegedly. I gotta add that in because Ethan...
What the fuck is... Excuse me, my shit's acting the fuck up. Here's the noise canceling. I'm gonna turn up the noise canceling. Yeah, turn that shit off. All right, let's try that.
And also expressed that his reasons for leaving was that he felt like a small cog in a big machine and that he wanted to leave.
Fuck cog, by the way. I just want to say that. Fuck that British cuck.
Leave DC to spread his wings and work on IPs that he actually owned. It might seem inconsequential, but it does fundamentally change how you might view Uncle Ethan's entry into comics.
Right, hold on.
Was he?
All right, hold on. I'm so done with this Bluetooth shit. What the fuck is wrong with this thing? No, as in turn off. I'm not having this. All right. Okay. We're gonna have to do this the fucking hard way. That's just fucking great. Anyways, right here. Okay. Oh, give me that. All right, let's do this.
Really just a political refugee who was essentially forced out of the industry just for being openly Republican?
That's cope. That ain't why. And you can see why with the way that he does his unfortunately, he does his comics and he's just late on his work. I think he's just late on his fucking work. I think that's really one of the big things. It's like, yeah, you're talented, but if you're not consistent on your shit, it's not going to work out. But I'm not going to speak too much into that and why. I don't really care. But from what I see with his comic work, it's like he's always late on his shit. And at DC, I think when you had to have deadlines, you got to hit your deadline. So I'm not trying to say nothing, but I don't think it had to do with politics like that. Unless you were dumb enough to fucking throw your politics out in the workplace, which I think anyone should probably not do that. No one needs to come to work to hear about that. That's just me.
Or was he always planning on leaving DC once his contract had expired and he just hopped aboard the CG train because he saw it was chugging in the direction he was heading anyway? I'm bringing this up because Uncle Ethan ain't exactly the most honest guy, and you're going to see that
I'm sorry. Who is this woman?
he's not just the king of Comicsgate, he's also the king of opportunism. Now, some of you might be wondering, Mikey, how could Ethan Van Sciver be the king of Comicsgate when he wasn't one of its founding members? That's a very good question. One that even Comicsgate OGs who witnessed the rise of EVS are still a little confused by.
When EVS first showed up on live streams and started backing Comicsgate and everything, we thought it was a boon. Oh my gosh, we have not only a comic book professional, but we have one of the greatest artists in comic book history. We thought it was such a boon, and then all of a sudden we're doing our thing and we're saying King of Comicsgate. What? He's the newest member. What are you talking about, King of Comicsgate? And
that's the problem when you have someone like that come in. People look up to EVS. I mean, even Chris did. I mean, a lot of people did. Looked at EVS because he was a known established comic book artist, and now he's on the independent scene, and he's seeking what he thinks in a budding right wing adjacent type of movement, where all these right wingers are starting to voice their displeasure because they hate leftist politics in their movies, not because they hate politics in their movies. They hate leftist politics in their movies. This is something big for them, for someone like Ethan Van Sciver to kind of lead and rally behind being a name in comics. Granted, in my opinion, the minute you introduced a comic book artist of any kind into this movement, that was it. Because it's not going to be about critiquing comic book work. It's an avenue then with the name. It was doomed from the start, but it's just an avenue to sell comics. Of course it's going to fail. Duh. Are we shocked by this?
I'll tell you what, he repeated the lies.
And by the way, this is what happened to the Fandom Menace. It's the same shit. All these people didn't really give a flying fuck about doing right by ethics and the code of ethics. None of these people have any fucking morals. None of them. They're all a bunch of self-made, self-thrown in opportunists that only give a fuck about their own selfish bullshit. They only give a fuck to make their own selfish way. They don't give a flying shit about a code of ethics or actually sitting there and doing the right thing. No, it's getting money and building their brand. Of course, it was never going to last. And then it's going to come inside that all these people have egos, so it's just going to clash. I mean, I'm really shocked that Anna had a meltdown and then decided to fucking lash out against everyone. No. This was going to happen regardless. This is building. And personally, I don't even care. I just wanted to laugh at it. But these are the type of things that it's to the point where I don't think I could take any of this type of shit seriously. Like, all these movements are all bullshit, even politically. Oh, free Palestine. Like, motherfucker, you know how many fucking snakes are in that movement? I mean, one of the biggest ones in there is Hassan, and Hassan's a piece of shit. Everyone knows it. It's to the point where even you're getting snaked out by fucking Mom Donnie, your candidate. He's gonna snake you out for fucking political gain. Just to probably move up to, I think he's going to be a governor one day. That motherfucker's a sly-tongued motherfucker. Telling you, man, y'all better watch out. And I've been saying this. He doesn't give a flying shit about socialism or any of the crap he's talking about. He has been lying the whole time, and he doesn't give a fuck about any of this shit. But he does give a fuck about his own game. And I got to say, I see it coming. Y'all don't see it coming, but I do.
So much it became the truth.
See, when Ethan pulled up on Comicsgate, he already had a connection via Richard C. Meyer, the then most popular affiliate of CG, and everyone in CG was immediately wowed because this wasn't just a commentator, this was an accomplished, talented veteran of the industry.
And then again, that is why it failed, because you can't have that, because he is not going to become a commentator. It's not like sports where you retire as Tom Brady and you're not selling yourself as a quarterback to play. No, you're a commentator. You're talking about the game, and that's it. This is different because, well, actually, I don't know why I made a comparison. That just sounds stupid now to think about it. Let me rephrase that. The thing is, you can't have someone like that come into this and who's just out to sell his books. This guy did not retire from comics. He's gonna have to sell. So it's always commentating and being a comic skater and trying to save the industry and blah. Okay, and then you keep mentioning the fact you have a book to sell, and then it gets worse, and then it gets more, and then other fucking comic artists that are affiliated with you start joining in, and then you're doing Vampirella covers and whatever the fuck, and then that's it. It's over. It's dead. And it always fucking happens this way. And then people get shocked when it does. And I don't know why. I saw this coming. I don't know why anyone else didn't see this coming.
And an ambitious and charismatic one at that. See, EVS is the type of dude politicians and business execs, thank God, stayed clear of their careers and went into comics instead. He's equal.
Oh, don't worry. Zoran Mamdani is that guy. That's what I keep telling you. Yeah. And he's right. That's Zoran Mamdani. I'm telling you. He is that fucking salesman. And every one of these moronic champagne socialists fell for it. Jesus Christ, Shaw, you out the gutter. God damn, Shaw, get out of the gutter. Finn's just become funny, naturally. Oh, Jesus Lord. Yeah, guys, stop sending me this shit. Anyways.
Parts a natural-born car salesman and an asshole. And these qualities of Uncle Ethan are
that is true.
Ultimately what killed Comicsgate. Well, he didn't do.
I will say I disagree because that's not him personally. That is implementing the fucking the snake, the cancer, the fucking wolf in the hen house. That's what I'm talking. It could have been anyone. I don't care if it was any comics artist. Any decent comics artist with a decent following goes into that movement, it is done. Because it will turn into consumerism. And once that happens, that is the end of this shit. Because you can't mix in the two worlds. You can't be someone that is a target of being critiqued and then go into the critic. Because then it becomes about the fact that you're shielded from criticism because you are now the infiltrator within the ranks of journalism or within the ranks of being criticized by these people. See, when Comicsgate was just about criticizing comics and speaking on the comic industry as a whole and, basically trying to, set a precedent and a standard. When you have someone that's a comics artist within that group, they are using that indirectly or directly, but it's going to be directly as a shield from that criticism to sell their books and give a stamp of approval. And once you start doing that, it just kills it. So it wasn't, I wouldn't say EVS that did it. It's just that EVS was the first one to really, he was the one to get the nod to do it. You know what I mean? That was the first mistake. And your boy, Zach, basically, I think is the one that killed the movement, even doing something like this, because you're the dumbass that brought him in. Why the fuck would you have done that? It's just so fucking stupid. Of course this was going to fail. Anyone with a fucking half-pint brain could tell you that you shouldn't fucking bring someone like that in. It's like bringing in ads to a free, into a business that doesn't want ads. Like, remember that episode of South Park where Jimmy was basically running a newspaper and he didn't want ads in his newspaper? That is what happened here. You basically brought someone in that you shouldn't have brought in, and that's just what it comes down to. Because you should not bring any comic book artist into these type of circles.
Was solo, but he definitely was the MVP of this shit. The first mortal wound inflicted on early CG actually didn't come from Ethan, but from his internet platonic boyfriend, Richard Meyer. In March of 2018, Meyer put out a vid about Brian Pulido, the creator of the comic Lady Death, and he talked about how Pulido had grossed tons of money through several consecutive successful Kickstarter campaigns for his books.
So this is Brian Pulido, who's a popular indie comic in the 90s. He's come back strong like a bull in the Kickstarter game. I just want you to focus on this. He's coming up on 250,000 sales. So he's backed 47 and he's created 11. And this is huge. He's on $250,000 for a comic. It's just a comic. And he's been doing one, I think he does like every 6 months or so, he does one. And he's been steadily making more and more each one.
This gave Meyer, who was already making plans with John Malin at the time, another comic pro who would follow Ethan Van Sciver's lead and leave the industry for Comicsgate, the encouragement to finally pursue a plan he'd been thinking about for a while. Rather than go through the traditional model of indie publishing and deal with Diamond's costly, antiquated-ass bullshit, Meyer and Malin would just crowdfund their new comic book, Jawbreakers, instead. That man on the outside.
That's another thing that was really a problem when it came to Comicsgate was the whole crowdfunding bullshit. You know, gotta crowdfund, gotta do this, it's just a very annoying wear when you're trying to. Oh my god, why are you whining? Oh, you're such a big fuck of a cat. Yes, you are. You're a big boy. You're a big cat. It's not that he's fat or nothing. He's a big fucking cat. He's big for a cat. He's fucking big. He's not a small cat. That's right, kitty. You're a big motherfucker. All right, go do your thing. Put you down. Oh, actually, you know what? Fuck you. You don't get to go down. It's my boy. Oh. All right. I'm going your tree? I'm going your tree? Huh? I'm going tree? Right there. There you go. Get out of here. All right. Anyways. Wait, really? We're doing this? Okay. Fuck you. Fucking damn little stink. You little fucker. Oh, don't you do it. I swear to God, don't you do it. You fucking goddamn gremlin. Fucking Ewok. Anyways.
Looking in era of Comicsgate was now officially over. And this right here was the first mortal blow of Comicsgate as a movement. It fundamentally shifted the character and purpose of Comicsgate. CG was no longer just a consumer revolt. No, now it was a brand. Before.
Yep, killed it. You can't revolt as a consumer when you're being fucking led by the one you're consuming from. You can't do that. Of course, I just don't understand the fundamental, like, they just don't get it. I'm not saying you can't consult with someone like EVS, you can't, but you can't officially tag him to your movie. You're so stupid.
Or CG was a bunch of industry outsiders, just commentators who, through passion and love for the medium alone, talked about comics and called for change in the industry. Now you have guys like Ethan Van Sciver, John Malin, Mike S. Miller, and even Earthworm Jim creator Doug TenNapel.
John Malin. God. What a fuck. I hate that guy. I don't care. I don't really hate John Malin. I don't care for any of these fucking dudes. They're all egotistical douchebags.
Throwing up that hashtag Comicsgate set. And they weren't doing it out of pure passion and love for the medium like the OG CG.
No!
Now they were doing it to sell comics, to get super chats, to move merch, to make
money.
This was great if you were someone who mainly just wanted to make money selling comics without still being part of the mainstream industry. If you were someone whose main purpose in Comicsgate didn't involve stacking paper to the ceiling, well, Doug TenNapel put it best.
I think the problem with Comicsgate was always that it was I've always said this, that it's a brand that pretends to be a movement. It's
skinwalking. Because if you are truly interested in critiquing the business, well, okay, so why can't I criticize John Malin? Why can't I say your comic book sucks, John? If it sucks, why can't I just say it sucks? Oh, you're a part of Comicsgate? Oh, that's a problem. Hey, Ethan, Cyberfrog sucks dick. Well, I can't say that because Ethan's a part of Comicsgate. Oh, Anna, your Vampirella cover, I mean, it just sucks. Like, of your art. I mean, and by the way, it was a shit cover. I mean, for some of her art, it was pretty fucking trash. It was. It wasn't great. It was fucking very bland, generic, and very lazy. I can't say that a part of Comicsgate because that is protected media. You see the problem here? The fundamental issue here? This is literally a South Park episode I was talking about with Jimmy not wanting ads as paper because it taints the fucking genuine opinions. It taints journalism. It destroys journalism. It just does. And this is what it was. You can't critique comics if you you can't be a genuine critique, a genuine critic of comics, a genuine like voice to try and talk about like quality if you are protecting brands. That makes you a fucking shill, and it makes you disingenuous, and that's the end of it from that standpoint.
Business that pretends to be a movement.
Absolutely.
It's a YouTube fandom that pretends to be about comics, and there's trusting, well-meaning, great creators and backers that think they're contributing to a movement or a cause, and really it's a compromised business.
This was a few years after he left and eventually disavowed Comicsgate. Now, why would Duck to Naple do that? Well, don't worry, we're gonna get to it. Now, again, the transition from hashtag to brand was just part of what killed early Comicsgate. There were several more steps, and all of them involved Ethan Van Sciver. The first was when a few CGOGs like Doug Ernst and Captain Cummins noticed that gatekeeping was becoming more of a thing in Comicsgate, with the guy...
Of course there's gatekeeping. You can't... Again, hey, John Malin, your fucking book sucks. I can't say that within that group, because guess what? He's part of Comicsgate. You can't really attack your own. Okay.
Everyone seeming to defer to for who's cool and who's not, being EVS, who was surprisingly pro-gatekeeping. His logic being that gatekeeping is a problem for SJWs because they're evil, but it's...
That's just so fucking stupid. You know it's really bad when fucking Yellow Flash has the fucking right answer. Yellow Flash is a fucking retard, okay? Don't get me wrong. Yellow Flash is a fucking idiot. That guy, I'll be honest, you listen to Yellow Flash, I will look down upon you in society. I want nothing to do with you. Get off my channel. You can't watch a moron like that and think that you could fucking understand nuance. I knew he was stupid when he fucking lied about the plot of Predator Badlands. I knew he was stupid then. That's a lie. I knew he was way stupid beforehand. I just wanted to use that as an example. But even he's not. He's right here. Gatekeeping is not the answer. The free market is the answer. I'm 100% against any type of gatekeeping. That's SJW. I don't think Ethan Van Sciver is saying he's for that either. I think there's a misunderstanding here. Wrong. Think for yourself. Okay, so that's his answer. He says wrong. Okay, think for yourself. But gatekeeping isn't the issue. Gatekeeping by SJWs is the problem. Keeping people who exploit comics to propagandize at the expense of stories, sales, and customer service from destroying this industry and hobby is the heart of Comicsgate. Okay, Ethan. So that's why you haven't got your comic books out on time. Yeah, customer service right there. Let's start with strike one. Strike two. Keeping people who exploit comics to propagandize. So you didn't join Comicsgate to basically at the expense of free speech, free opinions, and free opinionated people, to basically have your boys in there that no one could talk shit about. Strike two. Story, and then the expense. Okay, propagandize at the expense of what propaganda though? See, you think gatekeeping isn't the issue. It's gatekeeping by SJWs. But Ethan, no matter what the reasoning's for, it's still gatekeeping. Why can't they gatekeep like you're gatekeeping? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's just that one's doing it for one reason, the other one's doing it for another. But that's still gatekeeping. Either it's okay. There is no picking sides. You can't do that. Either it's all okay or none of it's okay. And my personal opinion is none of it's okay, because none of y'all can actually really gatekeep, because ain't no one going to listen to you bitches. Seriously, the minute you try and tell me what the fuck I can believe in, I'll tell your nerd ass to go right back in your fucking locker and lock that bitch shut, and you can fucking live the rest of your days in there for the next 2 weeks and starve, bitch, because I don't want to hear you, locker boy. I mean this. Like, some of y'all really get that ass whooped again, because I swear to God, I hate nerds. I hate nerds, man. Fuck you people.
Cool when we do it, because we got to keep out those evil SJWs. Captain Cummins in particular wasn't a fan of this growing shift in CG values, and he definitely wasn't a fan of EVS, who's the main source for a lot of it. And he voiced as much both in his videos and in his infamous tweet. Well, at Ethan Van Sciver can keep the money. I don't want a shitty Ninja Turtle ripoff. Do I need to fly down and say it to your face to be a man? Or are you just gonna tell me to kill myself? Seems comic pros always end up being the worst people, like DNC has stated multiple times. At the time, everyone thought Captain Cummins was just having a tism fit, going off for no good reason.
Oh.
Maybe because he was just jealous that he was now just a commentator in Comicsgate, while Ethan, who came after him, was both a more popular voice in CG as an influencer and also had the most crowd-funded CG project, Cyberfrog Blood Honey. But looking back, Captain Cummins was really just peeping the bullshit from Ethan Van Sciver several years ahead of everyone else.
Comicsgate is devolving into your typical hierarchical struggle for control and influence. So Captain Cummins is accusing Ethan Van Sciver of being a new gatekeeper of comic books. Yeah, it probably is, actually. Seeing his personality type and looking into what Ethan Van Sciver has done before on Facebook in the groups that he had there, he always tends to end up leading a type of situation with him as the fulcrum and all these different characters then almost sparking from his central Green Lantern battery. So he's found his new group as Ethan Van Sciver. He's found a new little group to take over, and that group is Comicsgate. And I think what Captain Cummins is doing right now is reacting against a hierarchical, almost natural, organic even, but a takeover nonetheless.
Ethan, with his new circle of comic pro capos, had effectively turned Comicsgate into his own personal internet fiefdom that he would have the most influence over, in which his own platform, Comic Artist Pro Secrets, served as the central hub of. He might not have been officially crowned, but Ethan Van Sciver had become the undeniable king of Comicsgate. But Captain Cummins wasn't going for any of that shit, so he peaced out, nuked his channel of almost all its CG content, and left the movement he started but had quickly become unrecognizable to him behind. He may have been the first major figure of CG to disavow the movement and bounce, but he wouldn't be the last.
All right, guys, I'm gonna stop it there. I'm good. I'm gonna go to bed and do my stuff. I'm gonna come back for part 2 tomorrow, but y'all be good. I am out of here. Peace out. I just wanted to get this done. We're gonna have part 2. We're gonna have like parts 2 and 3, 4. I'm gonna cover this whole thing in parts, and we'll do that. But this is a really good doc. I really enjoy Mikey's documentaries because they're how I would do it as a retard. Because I, being autistic as fuck, I have ADHD. I won't say I'm autistic, but I'm on the spectrum or something. I enjoy these type of things because there's a lot of things to put in, and it's just a way to stimulate your brain out. So for me, that's what I do. So covering these is very nice. But I will say this is a really good documentary, and a lot of it I was around for. I was around. I talked with CGers. At the time, I wasn't really in the dark on what it was. My whole thought of beginning when I came in was that Comicsgate should have been that Comicsgate was about, comic, like just a third, like another brand of comics. Like, oh, it's just a place where, but the problem was when you have people lying, EVS, about what it is. Well, dude, at some point we were going to call the bullshit. It's going to create tension with people who are believing that crap. The reality was it became a literal brand, and it became a place for comic book artists to basically use it as a pipeline to make money. And it failed because it became a fucking drama cesspool and nest. The problem is with Comicsgate was you should have just ran the full way with it. If you were smart and used Comicsgate as a brand to make into a company to start making its own revenue, you would never have to worry about crowdfunding and all that, and you can run it the way you want to run it. And you'd make your own revenue, and you never have to worry about shit. And I don't know why Ethan wasn't smart to think of that. I don't know. That's not my problem and prerogative. Why the fuck they didn't do any of that shit? And I just love the fact that what I just said exactly, that's what Eric July did. The only difference is Eric July is on his own doing it. Do I like his work? No. I think it's terrible. But I don't have to like it. I don't have to buy it, so I don't. And I don't really talk about it. But I'm not going to sit there and go into an entire blood feud with the dude over it. Jesus Christ. Like, a lot of you motherfuckers went into a blood feud over that with this dude. And it really just came down to one thing. Jealousy. It was jealousy. I think a lot of people were jealous of the fact that Eric converted this into something that these people wish they did. But that's all your faults because you guys didn't band together to make this into the company that you should have. You tried to keep the whole image of Comicsgate alive. I don't know why. when you should just turn it into a fucking company and just got it over with. But you fucked that up. It's dead. It's a dead fucking thing. Dead trademark at this fucking point. And everyone splintered off into doing their own thing, and now it's just become a drama cesspool. I mean, now what's the latest thing? Anna basically embarrassing and humiliating herself. There you go. All right, I'm out. See you.